When a dog tilts their head while listening to you, it often looks adorable, but this behavior has far deeper meaning than curiosity or cuteness. Head tilting is a complex response shaped by hearing, attention, emotional bonding, and cognitive processing. Understanding why dogs do this reveals how deeply they engage with humans. Dogs experience the world primarily through sound and scent. Their hearing is far more sensitive than ours, but it works differently. Dogs hear a wider range of frequencies, yet they rely heavily on directional sound cues to interpret meaning. Tilting the head slightly changes how sound reaches each ear, helping dogs pinpoint the source and clarity of what they're hearing. Human speech is especially complex for dogs. Unlike other dogs, humans communicate using varied pitch, rhythm, and tone. When you speak, your dog isn't just hearing noise. They're listening for familiar patterns. Words like their name, walk, food, or play stand out. Head tilting helps them isolate these meaningful sounds from the rest of the noise. Facial visibility also plays an important role. Dogs read human faces closely, especially the eyes and mouth. Some researchers believe head tilting helps dogs see facial expressions more clearly, particularly the mouth, which moves when humans speak. This visual adjustment allows dogs to combine sound with expression, creating a fuller understanding of communication. Dogs that tilt their heads often are usually highly attentive and emotionally bonded. Studies suggest that dogs who show this behavior more frequently tend to be more responsive to human cues. It's not confusion, it's engagement. These dogs are actively processing information rather than reacting passively. Breed differences can influence head tilting. Dogs with longer muzzles may tilt their heads more to compensate for visual obstruction, while dogs with shorter faces may rely more heavily on sound alone. However, head tilting occurs across all breeds, indicating it's more than just physical anatomy. It's cognitive. Emotional connection plays a major role. Dogs tilt their heads more often when listening to people they are bonded to. Familiar voices trigger deeper attention. When you speak calmly or use emotionally loaded words, your dog becomes more focused, increasing the likelihood of head tilting. Positive reinforcement also shapes this behavior. Humans often smile, laugh, or praise dogs when they tilt their heads. Over time, dogs may learn that this response strengthens social interaction. However, reinforcement alone doesn't explain the behavior. It enhances an instinct that already exists. Head tilting can also signal emotional curiosity. Dogs are constantly trying to understand their environment. When something doesn't immediately make sense but feels important, dogs adjust their posture to gather more information. Tilting the head is part of that information gathering process. It's important to distinguish normal head tilting from medical concerns. Occasional tilting during interaction is normal. Persistent head tilting unrelated to sound or attention may indicate ear or balance issues and should be checked by a veterinarian. Context matters. Ultimately, head tilting is a sign of cognitive effort. Your dog is trying to understand you. They are listening, watching, and emotionally engaging all at once. It reflects how dogs evolved alongside humans, not just to coexist, but to communicate. When your dog tilts their head, they are showing curiosity, attention, and connection. It's a quiet reminder that dogs don't just hear us, they try to understand us. Recognizing this behavior as communication rather than confusion deepens the bond between humans and dogs. It reminds us that every interaction matters, especially the calm, everyday moments. Subscribe to Paws and Whiskers for calm, science-based insight into dog behavior and the emotional intelligence of pets.